Day 3 of reading. Trying to be a consistent dude. Damn, I read 20 pages. That's crazy. 21. Can I do some form? I will start from 21, the number page of how to win and friends and influence people. I consider my ability to arouse enthusiasm among my people, said Squab. The greatest asset I possess and the way to develop best decisions in the person is by appreciation and engagement. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticisms from superiors. Facts. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticism from criticism. ऐसा क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? Criticism. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitious. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticisms from superiors. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticisms from superiors. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticisms from superiors. Okay. I never criticize anyone. I believe in giving a person incentive to work. So I am anxious to praise but loath to find fault. If I like anything, I am hearty in my approbation and lavish in my praise. Approbation. That's a new word. That is what Squab did, but what do average people do? The exact opposite. If they don't like a thing, they ball out their subordinates. If they do like it, they say nothing. Crazy. As the old couplet says, once I did bad and that I heard ever. Twice I did good, but that I heard never. And I can be a narrator. Once I did bad and that I heard ever. Twice I did good, but I heard never. Whoa, what a line. In my wide association in life, meeting with many and great people in various parts of the world, Squab declared, I have yet to find the person, however great or exalted his station. There are some lines that I really liked. I will highlight that. I highlight those. Where's my pen? Tomorrow also I forgot to hold a pen. Mother's eye. Bad joke. If you saw me walking, if you say so, God forgive me. God forgive me. In my wide association in life, meeting with many and great people in various parts of the world, Squab declared, I have yet to find the person, however great or exalted his station, who did not do better work and put forth greater effort under a spirit of approval than he would ever do under a spirit of criticism. That, he said frankly, was one of the outstanding reasons for the phenomenal success of Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie praised his associates publicly as well as privately. Carnegie wanted to praise his assistants even on his tombstones. He wrote an epitaph for himself which read, here lies one who knew how to get around his men who were cleverer than himself. Sincere appreciation was one of the secrets of the first John D. Rockefeller's success in handling men. For example, when one of his partners, Edward T. Bedford, lost $1 million for the firm by a bad guy in South America, John D. might have criticized, but he knew Bedford had done his best and the incident was closed. So Rockefeller found something to praise. He congratulated Bedford because he had been able to save 60% of the money he had invested. That's splendid, said Rockefeller. We don't always do as well as that's upstairs. I once succumbed. How do you pronounce this? I once succumbed. Succumbed. I once succumbed to the fad of fasting and went for 6 days and nights without eating. It wasn't difficult. I was less hungry at the end of the 6th day than I was at the end of the second. Yet I know, as you know, people who would think they had committed a crime if they let their families or employees go for 6 days without food, but they will let them go for 6 days and 6 weeks and sometimes 60 years without giving them the hearty appreciation that they crave almost as much as they crave food. Damn. Damn. This is crazy. I will highlight this. I appreciate people. I appreciate them. When Alfred Lunt, one of the great actors of his time, played the leading role. Reading role क्या होता है? Why I do this? When Alfred Lunt, one of the great actors of his time, played the leading role in Reunion in Vienna, he said, "There is nothing I need so much as nourishment for my self-esteem, which I have really low. We nourish the bodies of our children and friends and employees. I don't have a low self-esteem, man. Whatever I said before, I take back. I'm the greatest. We nourish the bodies of our children and friends and employees, but how seldom do we nourish their self-esteem? We provide them with roast beef and potatoes to build energy, but we neglect to give them the kind words of appreciation that would sing in their memories for years, like the music of the morning stars." Paul Harvey is one of his radio broadcasts. The rest of the story told how showing sincere appreciation can change a person's life. He reported that years ago, a teacher in Detroit asked Stevie Morris to help her find a mouse that was lost in the classroom. You see, she appreciated the fact that nature had given Stevie something no one else in the room had. Nature had given Stevie a remarkable pair of ears to compensate for his blind eyes. But this was really the first time Stevie had been shown appreciation for those talented ears. Now, years later, he says that this act of appreciation was the beginning of a new life. You see, from that time on, he developed his gift of hearing and went on to become, under the stage name Stevie Wonder, one of the great pop singers and songwriters of the 70s. Some readers are saying right now as they read these lines, "Oh, phew, oh, phew, oh, fui, flattery, oh, fui, oh, phew, flattery, beer oil. I've tried that stuff. It doesn't work out, not with the intelligent people." Of course, flattery seldom works with discerning. Of course, flattery seldom works with discerning people. It is shallow, selfish, and insincere. It ought to fail, and it usually does. True, some people are so hungry, so thirsty for appreciation that they will swallow anything, just as a starving man will eat grass and fish worms. Even Queen Victoria was susceptible to flattery. Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli confessed that he put it on thick in dealing with the Queen. To use his exact words, but there's so much saliva producing in my mouth while I speak from my mouth. Why? To use his exact words, he said that he spread it on with a trowel. But Disraeli was one of the most polished, deft, and adroit men who ever ruled the far-flung British Empire. I am doing this on purpose, okay? I don't speak like this. I don't speak like this. I am just doing that to train my mouth muscles that for good diction, good tone, and facial expressions so that I can speak fluently, because I don't usually get to work on these muscles as much because I don't really talk in real life. My mouth is just like this. I don't talk. I don't get my mouth on work. In conversations also, I don't have conversations with anyone. That's why I think, because I'm not talking that much, I'm not putting my mouth muscles, my talking muscles into the work. That's why they are just stiffed now. They are not loosened up, they are tight. So I'm getting to get on these muscles. Even Queen, but Disraeli was one of the most polished, deft, and adroit men who have ever ruled the far-flung British Empire. He was a genius. I want the blood to flow in these areas. Okay, back to the book. He was a genuine in his line. What would work for him wouldn't necessarily work for you and me. In the long run, flattery will do you harm than good. Flattery is counterfeit, and like counterfeit money, it will eventually get you into trouble if you pass it to someone else. I can was model it, man. The difference between appreciation and flattery, that is simple. One is sincere and the other is insincere. One comes from the heart out, the other from the teeth out. One is unselfish and the other selfish. One is universally admired, the other universally condemned. I recently saw a bust of Mexican hero General Alvaro Obregón in the Chapultepec Palace. What is this name? Chapultepec Palace in Mexico City. Below the bust are carved. Below the bust are carved these wise words from General Obregón's. Paul Harvey. The rest of the story in New York doubled in 1977. I will read page number 23 again. Philosophy. Don't be afraid of enemies who attack you. Be afraid of the friends who flatter you. No. I'm not suggesting flattery. Far from it. I'm talking about a new way of life. Let me repeat. I'm talking about a new way of life. King George V had set of 6 maxims displayed on the walls of his study at Buckingham Palace. One of those Maxims, Circus Maximus nahi, Maxims. One of these maxims said, "Teach me neither to proffer nor receive cheap praise. That's all flattery. Flattery is cheap praise." I once read a definition of flattery that may be worth repeating. Flattery is telling the other person precisely what he thinks about himself. Flattery is telling the other person precisely what he thinks about himself. Okay. Use what language you will, said Ralph Waldo Emerson. You can never say anything but what you are. If all we had to do was flatter, everybody would catch on, and we should all be expert in human relations. When we are not engaged in thinking about some definite problem, we usually spend about 95% of our time thinking about ourselves. Then I think I am not engaging in thinking about any problem because I think about myself 100% time. Okay. Now, if we stop thinking about ourselves for a while and begin to think the other person's good points, we won't have to resort to flattery so cheap and false that it can be spotted almost before it is out of the mouth. One of the most neglected virtues of our daily existence is appreciation. Somewhere we neglect to praise our son or daughter when he or she brings home a good report card, and we fail to encourage our children when they first succeed in baking a cake and building a birdhouse. Damn, I was never praised. Nothing pleases children more than this kind of parental interest approval. The next time you enjoy filet mignon at the club, send word to the chef that it was excellently prepared. When a tired salesperson shows you unusual courtesy, please mention it every minute. Uncourtesy. Courtesy का मतलब क्या होता है? Okay, last page number 25. Every minister, lecturer, and public speaker knows the discouragement of pouring himself or herself out to an audience and not receiving a single ripple of appreciative comment. What applies to professional applies doubly to workers in offices, shops, and factories, and our families and friends. In our interpersonal relations, we should never forget that all our associates are human beings and hunger for appreciation. It is the legal tender that all souls enjoy. Try leaving a friendly trail of little sparks of gratitude on your daily trips. You will be surprised how they will set small flames of friendship that will be rose beacons on your next visit. Pamela Dunham of New Fairfield, Connecticut, had among her responsibilities on her job the supervision of a janitor who was doing a very poor job. The other employees would jeer at him and litter the hallways to show him what a bad job he was doing. It was so bad, productive time was being lost in the shop. Without success, Pam tried various ways to motivate this person. She noticed that occasionally he did a particularly good piece of work. She made a good point to praise him for it in front of other people. Each day, the job he did all around got better. Pretty soon, he started doing all his work efficiently. Now he does an excellent job, and other people give him appreciation and recognition. Honest appreciation got results where criticism and ridicule failed. Hurting people not only does not change them, it is never called for. There is an old saying that I have cut out and pasted on my mirror. I cannot help but say it every day. I shall pass this way but once, and a good therefore that I can do or any kindness that I can show to any human. Okay, page number 25 is done. Chapter 2 is over. What? I have never even completed chapter 1 in my life, and I have bought this book for around 1 year. It must be, this book is with me for around probably 1 year, and I never read a single page from this book. Never, man. But in just 3 days, 2 days only, I just completed 2 chapters of this book. This is crazy. Wow. It's all in the act of action. Wow. Crazy. Wow, इतना सारा पढ़ लिया मैंने. Wow. Crazy, man. Swapnil, you can do anything. Being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. Emerson said, every man I meet is my superior in some way, in that I learn of him. If that was true of Emerson, isn't it likely to be 1,000 times more true of you and me? Let's cease thinking of our accomplishments, our wants. Let's try to figure out the other person's good points, then forget flattery. Give honest, sincere appreciation, be hearty in your approbation, and lavish in your praise. And people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime. Repeat them years after you have forgotten them. Give honest and sincere appreciation. This is the principle too. I certainly apply this principle in my life. And I will try to apply the principle 1 too now. I'll not criticize, condemn, or complain about a person.